What is up, everyone? I am Chris Francis, and this is According to Chris, where everyone has a perspective, but this one is mine. So I hope everyone is doing well out there today. Um, just wanted to come on and just kind of wanted to talk about something real quick. So, if you like me, you've been on social media and you've been seeing this thing where I think it originated on Twitter or X. Now I guess is what it is or whatever. Where this lady, I guess, came up with this list of places you are not supposed to take women on a first date, right? I think it's 28 of them, right? So you don't have to forgive me. I'm not the greatest with technology, right? So I don't know if you can tell, but I record this with my phone. It's just a phone and a little ring light. I'm very basic. I'm not great with computers. I'm not great with technology, So I've seen a lot of people do things with this list on social media where they have it like either behind them or on the side of them, and they can kind of like run down the list and kind of talk about different things on it. I am not that savvy yet, maybe with time I will get to that point where I can pay someone to come in and kind of help me do some things that are a little more uh, technologically advanced, right? But right now it's just me, and so what you see is what you get. So I hope you guys can bear with me, and I hope it's not too terrible. So what I did was I actually had to go and Google the list and download it. Actually, write it out. So, so I have it here, right? It's 28 of them, right? So, I just wanted to come on here. I wanted to talk about them. I wanted to go over the list, and I just want to hear what you guys think about it, right? I'm going to give you. I'm going to go over the whole list. I'm going to give you my take on them, and then I want to hear you guys' perspective and what you think about them. Okay. Now this is again a list of places that you are not supposed to take women on. I guess the first date. Okay, it's the first date. So number one here is Cheesecake Factory, right? And I think most of you that are on social media know where that whole Cheesecake Factory thing started with the lady a couple of weeks ago who went viral for being out on a date with a guy. I believe it was a first date, and I think he had taken her to the Cheesecake Factory. Right, I had seen the like snippets, and it comes on, and he's getting out of the car, I guess, to walk around from the driver's side to the passenger side to open her door, and she's like, "I'm at the Cheesecake Factory. I'm not getting out of this car." Right. So, for those of you who haven't seen it or are unfamiliar with it, so she's like, I'm dressed too nice to go to the Cheesecake Factory. I'm not going to no Cheesecake Factory." So she won't go. She won't get out of the car. So the guy goes back around. He gets back in the car, and she's like, "Wait, what's going on?" She's like, "I'm not going. This is the Cheesecake Factory. I'm not going to the Cheesecake Factory." So they begin to have this kind of back and forth about the Cheesecake Factory essentially being beneath her or whatever, and she's saying how she expected and requires a higher level restaurant, right? And he proceeds to show her in her phone, right, in his phone, where they had reservations at another restaurant, which he named the restaurant, or and the restaurant wasn't familiar to me, but I think it was in Vegas somewhere. I think they were in Vegas. So um, she was like, "Oh yeah, let's go there, let's go there," and he's like, "No, we were supposed to go there, but I came to get you, told you what time to be ready. You were an hour late. So we missed our appointment. We missed our time. We missed the reservation. So that's why we're here at the Cheesecake Factory, because we can't go there now. We missed that, but that was your fault. So so he's like, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take you home. So she's like, but wait, but what? Can we like? Wait, what you mean? He's like, I'm taking you home. So she's like, but can we figure something out? Can we come to some kind of an agreement? He's like, what we talking about? You were supposed to like. She started like dogging him out about all of these things that he had done wrong, right? And then I think that she thought that the guy was going to be a pushover for her. And then he sat and was really nice, was really cordial, let her talk, let her speak, let her express herself. And then he turned around and flipped the script on her and said, you were late, you wasted my time. Now you're telling me, about, your expectations for restaurants when I had, done the right thing, and I had intended to, um, sorry, y'all. I had intended to take you to a nice restaurant, and we can't go now because you blew it. You were late. It's not on me. And so after she kind of ran the riot act, he was like, "I'm just gonna take you home." So then when she realized he was not a pushover, then she kind of began to backtrack, and he's like, "No, it's okay. It's cool. I can take you home, and we can be done with this." So anyway, that's where the whole cheesecake factory one comes in at. So that's number one, the Cheesecake Factory. Let me say this about Cheesecake Factory. I like Cheesecake Factory, right? Cheesecake Factory. I don't know. I live in Virginia Beach, so we have a place here called Maggie McFly's. I don't know, where else Maggie McFly's is across the country, but we have one here. I know there's a couple up in Northern Virginia and DC. But my wife is a vegan, right? So we go to the Cheesecake Factory and Maggie McFly's because she can go in there and get the vegan burger, Beyond Burger or whatever it is that the vegans eat. So so Cheesecake Factory is a place that you can go. She can eat, I can eat, and you can take a group of people of 6, 8, 10 people, and everyone can usually find something that they like. At Cheesecake Factory, and let's be clear, Cheesecake Factory is not a necessarily a cheap place, right? I mean, hell, a piece of cheesecake is $15 in the Cheesecake Factory, right? So it's not, cheap by any means, you know. So I don't understand what the problem is with Cheesecake Factory. Um, but that's number one on the list. Number two is Applebee's. Applebee's, you know, I don't. I'm not a huge Applebee's guy. I have been to Applebee's many a times, which is why I'm probably less of an Applebee's guy now. But to say it's a place that's completely off limits to take a woman on a first date, it's a little bit far fetched. That's unnecessary to me. Chili's, same thing. I actually happen to like Chili's. I think it's the blackened Cajun chicken pasta. My wife gets the the pasta also. Um, I like Chili's, and they have really good drinks. So it's Applebee's. I like Applebee's has this thing to go back to number two of Applebee's. Applebee's used to have this thing called the blonde or the blondie. It was like a cake, right? That was served warm, and it had like white chocolate chunks in it, and I think it was like walnuts or something, and it had this caramel glaze on the top, this caramel sauce, and ice cream, and oh my god, that thing was wonderful, wonderful, guys. So I think they stopped um, making it, a couple of years back, and then they may have brought it back because people were asking for it. So I'm actually not sure uh, whether they are serving that now or not. So maybe if someone knows, you can tell me. Again, Chili's is number three, same thing. Chipotle is number four. Chipotle. Um, I'm not a big Chipotle guy, but that's irrelevant. So I Chipotle is kind of fast foodish to me, right? Uh, that's not a place that I would take a date on a woman on a first date. I don't think. I'm not taking a woman on a date anywhere to a fast food restaurant. Like you just can't take that serious. So Chipotle is, you know, I consider that to be a form of fast food. So that's out of the question. That makes sense to me. Number five, Olive Garden. Uh, I don't know why you would not want to take a woman to an Olive Garden on a first date. I don't know why I don't know a woman that would have a problem with being taken to Olive Garden on a first date, right? Olive Garden, I mean, soup and breadsticks and salad is great, and then you get you a nice entree to go along with it. It's wonderful. So Olive Garden doesn't make sense to me. I don't know whose list this is. I think that she said that she can because she said she had given thanks to people that had sent her um, things to put on the list, and so at the end she was thanking them for their submissions. So I guess it was her combined with several other people that had sent some stuff in. So I guess it's uh, a mixed bag here, right? Um, Number six is the movies, right? Movie theater. That's always been a poor first date to me, and I think it's a poor first date because, you know, on a very first date in particular, you're trying to talk to the person, you're trying to learn the person, you're trying to get to know them, trying to see, if you guys have any chemistry, any initial like real chemistry. You know what I mean? To see if there's even a point in continuing to see each other further on into the future. That's really hard to do in a movie theater because you're watching a movie. You know, um, don't talk to me when I'm watching a movie. Don't talk to me, and I'm not gonna talk to you. Like especially if it's a good movie that we're watching. Like you can't be in the theater talking. Like that doesn't make sense. You know. So to me, number six, the movie theater, that makes all the sense in the world. Let's not go to a movie on our very first date. Number seven, they've got your house. So yes, for the sake of women, I understand that not uh, that's not smart. You don't want to be in someone's house that you don't know for the very first date. Gotcha. So that's fine. Number eight is what I was saying earlier. Any fast food chain, right? Anything fast food is out of the question, which is why I said number four, Chipotle, to me is considered fast food. So there's that. Um, Number nine, Buffalo Wild Wings. Um, Not my thing. I wouldn't take a woman to a Buffalo Wild Wings on a first date. I don't know why you would. But here's the thing. If you're okay with it and she's okay with it, okay. Right? But I don't think that most of these or a lot of these, there's no hard and fast rule that should say this list right here, you should not, absolutely not take any woman ever to any one of these places ever on a first date. That's completely ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. Some of them make a lot of sense. Some of them kind of go without saying, right? I think that the movie theater to me goes without saying. Your house goes without saying to me. Somebody might think that bringing somebody to their house on the first date is okay. I think it's fine just for what it is, but from the perspective of the woman, and for security purposes, I understand why a woman would not want to come to your house on a first date. That makes sense. She might not want you in her house, like the one with the Cheesecake Factory. I think that they were saying how he had gotten there, and she said she had gotten off work late. Right, her job held her up. She had gotten off work late. He got there, she wasn't ready, so he had to wait for an hour for her to get ready, and he had to sit in his car because she didn't want him in her house. So, again, I get that, So, your house, that makes perfect sense. Buffalo Wild Wings, number 9, like I said, not someplace I would take someone, but if the young lady wanted to go and she was a fan of Buffalo Wild Wings, hey, go for it. And they've got number 10 on here, Wingstop. I honestly, people submitted these, right? Which means to me, somebody has been taking people to these places. Why would we go to Wingstop? Again, it's not the end of the world, but why? Why are we going to Wingstop? Are we on a budget? And let me say this: budget's the great. Wingstop. Maybe if you're 16, 17, 18. Wingstop it is. I don't know. Number 11. Red Lobster. Let me say this to you. If you have a problem with Red Lobster, you have a problem with me. I don't know how else to say it. I don't know how else to say it, okay? You start with the salad and the cheddar bay, right? And blue cheese dressing, because I love blue cheese dressing on my salad, right? Blue cheese dressing, especially a nice chunky one, right? With some cheddar bay biscuits. Man, listen, I'm almost full by the time the food gets to the table, just off salad and cheddar bay biscuits. It's great, right? And then, I get the ultimate feast at Red Lobster, which is crab legs, shrimp scampi, fried shrimp. I get a baked potato. It's got crab legs, and it's got a lobster tail. So it's got everything that you need. I don't understand, right? Like, Red Lobster back in the day used to be fine dining growing up, right? Like, Red Lobster was the place. Now, I'll say this. The quality at Red Lobster has gone down over the years, right? But I think that has happened across the board in a lot of places. A lot of places, right? And also, with places being short-staffed, right? People not wanting to work. I don't know how people are living out here. People still, after COVID, don't want to work, don't want to have jobs. And so a lot of places are really short staffed, right? And like the other night, my wife and I were in a restaurant. And it was a nice restaurant. And, I think it was like Longhorn Steakhouse, right? So we were in Longhorn, and we had the waitress, and the waitress was a waiter. I'm sorry, he was a okay guy, right? But here's the thing: the place is so short staffed, right? Until um, he's got all these tables. He's got all these tables, and he's running around here, there. He's over here. He's over there. He's doing this. He's doing that. And I'm the kind of guy who I like to tip. I don't mind tipping. I don't mind tipping well. But if I tip well, like I want my service. I want good service, right? Like I want to tip you. I want you to be attentive to me, right? Not crazy, but if I say to you, I order my steak comes, and I say, hey, can I get some Tabasco on some A1? I understand that you got 12 other tables. I understand that. But if I've got to wait 15 minutes to get my A1 and my Tabasco sauce, and now my steak is sitting here the whole time because you've got 12 other tables, it's like, yeah, I get it, but I can't tip you 25% now, 20% now. I can't do that. And I think that has taken place, and that happens a lot, more times than not, actually, no matter where you go, unless you're at a place that's really, really high end, you know what I mean? So but aside from that, I like Red Lobster, but again, I realize the quality has gone down from where it was when I was growing up. You know what I mean? So, but I still enjoy Red Lobster. Number 12 is a buffet. Guys, I don't do buffet. All right, unless that buffet is attached to a cruise ship, I'm not coming to your buffet. When you're on the high seas, I'm not coming to your buffet. Now, you put me on Royal Caribbean, I'll come to your buffet. Off Royal Caribbean, Carnival, I don't want your buffet, right? But that's me. Because, now, let me say this. Put me in the right mood, and I'll mess with a Chinese buffet. Yeah, the Chinese buffet is just something different, But your Golden Corral, I don't want your Golden Corral. I don't want it. That's according to Chris, okay? I don't want your Golden Corral. I don't want your buffet, right? But some women might like buffets. Who am I to say, buffet's beneath you? If you like buffet, go to the buffet. First date buffet? I don't know that I would, but okay. Number 13 is IHOP. IHOP is one of those places. I like IHOP. Maybe if you did IHOP for breakfast, first date. I'm thinking less for a dinner buffet. I mean, for a dinner IHOP. You know what I mean? But again, not it's not a be all end all hard no. 14, Denny's. Yeah, kick yourself. 15, the gym. I'm never going to Denny's. First date, last date, I'm not going to Denny's. Right? I'm 15, the gym. I don't even know who invites someone to the gym for a first date. Now, I'm sure that there's someone who, but oh, that's cool. Okay, that's not me. So, to each his own. Number 16, church. That's interesting. Again, to me, certain places, I just wouldn't take a person for a first date. You can think what you think, feel how you feel. I don't recommend it. Oh man, church. That's personal. Like, that's really personal. But I guess if you are, let me be careful how I say this. If that's a huge, right, part and aspect of your life, that's, super, super important to you. I could see how you might think that might be a good idea. If it's super important to you, and it's super important that you guys have a lot of the same beliefs, foundational, and your core is the same, that might be something that you might do. But I think that you don't have to take them to church to know that. Like, you can find that out on your conversations and on the phone, that this person is probably not where I am, in my walk with whatever belief system it is that I have, and we're probably not a good fit or a good mesh, or we probably are. And maybe you think if you are and you just want to, I guess you want to take him to church. I guess. Starbucks. I am not a coffee drinker, but I think that that's a great place. If you drink coffee and it's just, some place you want to go and sit down and meet and talk, I don't know. Not a hard no. I think it would be a good place just to meet and sit down and talk in public and just, kind of see, you know, um, what you guys think. Anything like Starbucks or Barnes and Nobles, you know what I mean? It's all right. Then it says number 18 is coffee dates. I don't know exactly what coffee dates are, but I would imagine that has, along the same lines as number 17, which is Starbucks. Same thing. Some of this is kind of redundant. Number 19 is ice cream dates. Okay, so you don't go to ice cream. Look up ice cream. So some woman said that absolutely not. Absolutely not. We are not going to get ice cream on this here date. Not for this first date, we're not going to get no ice cream. No. Okay. Number 20, family function. Yeah, that's just a bad idea. Especially if you got a nosy family. That's real personal. Yeah, that's too close for comfort. Yeah. You put yourself in a predicament. You put them in a predicament. Nah, that's just not a good idea. Again, no hard and fast rule for it being an absolute no. It's just not a good idea. That's all. 21. Movie night. And then they have in parentheses Netflix, or Netflix and Hulu, which means Netflix and chill, which is essentially, being in, either you being in their house or them being in your house on a first date. We already just, discussed that. that's not really a good idea. And some of this is kind of redundant. So there's that. 22. Somewhere that requires a long drive. I love road trips. I love long drives. I guess you guys don't know. You're just getting to know me, but I have a CDL, a Class A, and I drove tractor trailers over the road for many, many years. Many years. So I'm a driver. Whenever we go on vacation, with a cruise out of Florida, we drive. I don't like to fly. But now, along somewhere with a long drive on our first date, it's probably not the best thing. Because what if you get someone who is not a great conversationalist? You ever been with someone? I know you have. You know what it's like to be with someone and they are, you have a lot of awkward silences, right? You're not saying nothing. They're not saying nothing. You haven't really clicked, right? You haven't really connected, so it's kind of weird, Like if you've got a 5-10 minute, trip down the street, it's fine. If you've got a 3 hour, you got 3 hours out and 3 hours back. You guys are not bonded. You haven't connected, and or just sometimes you with people, and it's like they don't know how to help carry a conversation, right? They have no idea. I got a homeboy, love him to death, but he'll call me, right? He'll call me, and then I gotta carry the conversation. He'll be like, you. And I'll be like, yo, what up? What up, bro? And he'll be like, chilling. And I'm like, so I'll start talking, and hopefully maybe you're just distracted, or maybe you snap out of it, you'll come around and you start, and it's like the whole thing. I'm like, bro, is there a reason you called me? Did you want something? Did you need something? What the hell's going on? What's happening here? Why would you call me and then I, for 30, 40 minutes, I got to carry the conversation? Like, what? What are we doing? You called me. What's happening? Well, that can happen, right, on a first date. So you don't want to put yourself in that position on a long drive, right? So that's number 22. Number 23, bowling, right? And just a quick aside. I want you guys, right, to comment below and tell me what you think. Now, obviously, you don't have to comment and tell me your opinion on everything, but I would like you to pick 2 or 3, if you wouldn't mind. Tell me which ones you think are outlandish, which ones you think, kind of go without saying, which ones you think are kind of, debatable, And I would like to know what you guys think, what your opinion and perspective is. Because, again, here, according to Chris, I understand that everybody has perspective. This one is mine. You understand? So, yes, I would like to hear some of yours as well. Bowling, 23. Bowling. So, here's my opinion about bowling as a first date. I love bowling. I bowled on a league since I was probably about 7 or 8 years old, right? So we take bowling relatively serious, right? So here's the thing. If you go bowling and it's the 2 of you, not a good date. Not a good first date. Because if it's just the 2 of you, right? Like if you're like me and you bowl, when you get up, you have proper form, proper technique. You're looking at the ball on the left, looking at the right, making sure nobody else is bowling, while you bowl. Giving courtesy to other bowlers as well. And then you make sure you have your form and your technique, and then you bowl. After that, I would assume that the woman is probably doing the same thing, you know. And then if she's not, she goes up, she bowls, then I'm back up. So it's kind of like this. It's like ships, you know, passing in the night. You know what I mean? You don't really have a whole lot of time to really have great conversation. You know what I mean? You just don't. Now, if you go and it's the first date, but you go with other couples or another group, right? And then say I bowl, and then you know you have 5 or 6 people in between, and then she bowls. That's a different story. You know what I'm saying? Because you have time in between, those other bowlers, or even if you go back to back, then you still have, 5 or 6 bowlers to go, before either one of you got to go up again. So it really depends on how you set that up. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't be big on doing it as a first date if it was just the two of us, But man, let's be clear, especially friends and family night or friends night, whatever you have that kind of thing. Man, bowling is great. It's fantastic. That's a great time on a date, you know. A nightclub. Not good. Not to me. First of all, I'm not a nightclub guy anyway, But most nightclubs are very loud, and you really don't have the opportunity again to talk the way that you want to talk to somebody and be able to get a chance to know them, learn them, and see what your chemistry is really like. Too many distractions. So I wouldn't do a nightclub. Hookah bar. Number 25 is hookah bar. I have never been to a hookah bar, honestly. I don't know what all happens at a hookah bar. I guess you smoke hookah and hang out. That to me doesn't sound like a terrible idea. But again, I've never been, so I don't know what all happens, or at a hookah bar. I don't know what takes place or how. I don't know. So that one I'm kind of up in the air about. But from what I can imagine happening at a hookah bar, I wouldn't see a problem with it. If she was into smoking hookah, But I guess there's a reason I've never been to a hookah bar. It's not for me. 26, they said a bar for drinks. Here's the thing about that. Alcohol treats everybody different. You have to know what kind of person you are when you drink. Everybody can't handle alcohol, right? Some people have high tolerance, some have low tolerance. Some alcohol makes some people like funny, right? It makes some people angry, right? Violent. That's not what you want to learn or find out on a first date, to me. I guess if a person is a violent drunk, you should probably want to learn that, as soon as possible, to know whether or not you want to even entertain that person. But it's still not something that I would recommend or I would do personally on a first date. But I don't think it's absolutely off limits. But I'm not the guy who's just gonna go out to drink. I'm just not gonna do that. 27 is Waffle House. I don't understand. No, we're not doing Chipotle. We're not doing fast food, and we're not doing Waffle House. Not doing Waffle House. That's just me. But Waffle House and Denny's, I'm never, ever, ever doing anyway. Ever. No matter what. No matter what. I don't care. But that's me. And number 28 is sports events. Yeah, I think, same thing with a lot of other things. Sporting events. It just takes too much focus. And it's not something where you can really hang out and talk the way you really want to. And that's it, guys. That's the top, supposedly 28 places that, you're not supposed to take a woman on a first date, right? So, let me know what you think. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, comment down below and let me know what you all think. And you can always send me other topics that you would like to hear my perspective about. And you can do that. You can either comment here down below. And I'm assuming when I say here, I'm on YouTube. But this may not be YouTube. You may not be watching this on YouTube. So wherever you're watching this, right? If you're not on YouTube, you can always find me at According to Chris on YouTube. You can always also follow me and find me on Instagram at According to Chris. That's According, the number 2, Chris, CHRIS, the number 4ever. So it's According to Chris forever. According, number 2, Chris, number 4, ever. And you can find me on Facebook also at According to Chris. According, number 2, Chris. Right? And yeah, that's it. Oh, you can also email me at According to Chris forever at Yahoo. That's According, the number 2, Chris, CHRIS, the number 4, ever, EVER, at yahoo.com. And that is it for me. Please like, share, subscribe. Don't be afraid to send me some love. Let me know what you guys think. All right, comment below. And thank you for your time. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the evening. And I'll talk to you guys soon. All right? Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.